What if you could quit your job today with just $500,000 in the bank? No more alarm clocks, no more pointless meetings, no more working for someone else's dream. Just total freedom. Sounds impossible, right? We are always told we need millions to retire, but what if that was a lie? Kevin O'Leary, the famous investor from Shark Tank, says you can live comfortably off $500,000, and you would never have to touch the original money. He says you can live off the interest for the rest of your life. Is he crazy? Or does he know something the rest of us don't? In this video, we are going to break down his argument. We will look at the math, we will explore the risks, and we will discover if this path to financial freedom is real. This might be the most important financial video you ever watch. So stick around. Let's get one thing straight. Most people think they need a mountain of cash to retire. A recent study found that the average American believes they need about $1.26 million. That's a huge number. It feels impossible for most of us. The typical person between 55 and 64 has less than $200,000 saved. For those 65 to 74, it's around the same amount. If you are younger, between 35 and 44, the median is only $45,000. And if you are under 35, it's barely $19,000. These numbers are shocking. They show a massive gap between what people think they need and what they actually have. So when Kevin O'Leary says $500,000 is enough, it sounds shocking, but it also sounds more achievable than $1.26 million. Let's look at his numbers. O'Leary says you can safely make 5% a year from low-risk investments like bonds and certificates of deposit. That's $25,000 a year. Or, if you are willing to accept more risk, you could make 8% or 9% from stocks. That's up to $45,000 a year, without ever touching your initial $500,000. He calls this living off the interest. Your money works for you, so you don't have to. In 2025, Treasury bonds and CDs are yielding between 3.5% and 4.25%. I-bonds, which are inflation-protected savings bonds from the government, are paying about 4%. High-quality dividend-paying stocks are yielding 3% to 5%. So O'Leary's 5% estimate for conservative investments is realistic. It's not a fantasy. It's based on actual market conditions right now. This isn't about living a life of luxury. You won't be flying on private jets or buying yachts. This is about something much more valuable: freedom. The freedom to control your time. The freedom to choose your work or not work at all. The freedom to wake up every day and do what you love. Imagine having a paid-off home and no major debts. An extra $25,000 to $45,000 a year could mean everything. It covers your property taxes, it pays for your groceries, it lets you travel, pursue hobbies, and spend time with family. This is the core of O'Leary's idea. It's not about being rich, it's about being free. It's about reclaiming your life from the 9-to-5 grind. Financial independence is not about having everything. It's about not needing to worry about anything. Think about what your life would look like with this kind of freedom. You could wake up without an alarm clock. You could spend your mornings reading, exercising, or working on a passion project. You could take a midweek trip without asking for permission. You could volunteer for a cause you care about. You could be there for your grandchildren. You could pursue creative work that doesn't pay well but fills your soul. This is what financial independence truly means. It's not about the money itself. It's about what the money allows you to do with your time. And time is the one resource you can never get back. So how does this actually work? The secret is simple. You never spend the principal. That $500,000 is your golden goose. You only live off the golden eggs it produces each year. Those eggs are your interest payments. This is the magic of passive income. Your money is a tireless employee that works for you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It never gets sick. It never takes a vacation. It just keeps generating income. This is how the wealthy build and maintain their fortunes. They don't spend their assets. They spend the income their assets create. This is a fundamental shift in thinking. Most people see their savings as a pile of money to be spent down in retirement, but the wealthy see their savings as a machine to generate income forever. Let's look at a practical example. Say you have $500,000 and you invest it in a diversified portfolio. Maybe 60% goes into bonds and fixed income, and 40% goes into dividend-paying stocks. Your bonds are yielding 4%, and your dividend stocks are yielding 5%. Your blended return is about 4.4%. That gives you $22,000 a year in passive income. You collect this income monthly or quarterly. You use it to pay your bills, and your $500,000 stays intact. It's still there, working for you. Next year, you collect another $22,000. And the year after that, and the year after that. For as long as you live, your principal never shrinks. In fact, if you invest wisely, it might even grow over time. This is the power of living off interest. Now, this all sounds great in theory, but there's a catch, a very important one. Kevin O'Leary has a strict rule. He says, do not invest in your brother's restaurant or a bowling alley or a bar or all that other crap. You'll lose your money. This is the single biggest mistake people make. They get a lump sum of money, and suddenly everyone has a great idea. Friends and family come asking for money. You get tempted by risky ventures that promise quick riches. Someone pitches you on a startup. Someone wants you to invest in real estate with no experience. Someone has a can't-miss opportunity. And before you know it, your $500,000 is gone. Poof, vanished into thin air. O'Leary's advice is blunt because it's true. These emotional investments are almost always a path to ruin. Your $500,000 freedom fund is not a speculative playground. It must be protected. It must be invested wisely in proven, stable assets. Things like government bonds, high-quality corporate bonds, and blue-chip dividend stocks. These are not exciting investments. They're boring. And that's the point. Boring is beautiful when it comes to your financial freedom. You want predictable, reliable income, not a lottery ticket. You want to sleep well at night knowing your money is safe, not toss and turn worrying about whether your investment will blow up. Think about it this way. If you lose half your money on a bad investment, you now have $250,000. At 5%, that's only $12,500 a year. That's not enough to live on. You have just destroyed your financial freedom, and it's almost impossible to recover. You can't go back to work and earn it back. You can't undo the mistake. So the first rule of the $500,000 plan is this: protect your capital at all costs. Invest conservatively. Avoid risk. Ignore the get-rich-quick schemes. Stick to the boring, proven investments that have worked for decades. But what about inflation? That's the big question, isn't it? Inflation is the silent killer of wealth. It's the reason a dollar today is worth less than a dollar yesterday. If your investments are only making 5% and inflation is 3%, your real return is only 2%. You are still making money, but your purchasing power is shrinking. This is the biggest challenge to the $500,000 plan. And it's a valid concern. The inventor of the 4% rule, William Bengen, called inflation the greatest enemy of retirees. In 2025, inflation is running at about 2.3% to 2.5%. The Federal Reserve targets 2% over the long term. So how do you fight back? You need your investments to grow. Your returns must outpace inflation over the long run. That's why a diversified portfolio is important. Fixed income gives you stability, but you also need growth. This means owning different types of assets, including stocks, which have historically outpaced inflation. The S&P 500 has averaged about 10% annual returns over the long term. Even after inflation, that's a real return of 7% to 8%. Real estate investments can also provide a hedge. Real estate investment trusts allow you to invest in property without being a landlord. They pay dividends and often appreciate over time, and some in bonds that are specifically designed to protect against inflation, like I bonds. These adjust their interest rate based on inflation, so your purchasing power stays intact. The goal is to create a portfolio that not only generates income, but also grows your principal over time. This ensures that your golden goose not only lays eggs, but also gets bigger and stronger each year. Your income doesn't just stay flat, it grows, keeping your purchasing power intact. For example, if your portfolio grows at 6% and you withdraw 4%, your principal is still growing at 2% per year. That 2% growth helps you keep pace with inflation. Over 10 years, your $500,000 could grow to over $600,000, even while you are living off the income. This is the beauty of a well-designed portfolio. This is where the picture gets even better. For most Americans, there's another powerful income stream in retirement: Social Security. It's a benefit you have been paying for your entire working life, and it can make a huge difference. In 2025, the average retired worker receives about $2,000 a month from Social Security. That's over $24,000 a year. Now, let's add that to our $500,000 plan. If your investments are generating $25,000 a year and you add $24,000 from Social Security, your total annual income is almost $50,000. That's over $4,000 a month. For a couple, it could be even more. If both spouses worked and qualify for Social Security, you could have $48,000 from Social Security alone. Add $25,000 from your investments, and you are looking at $73,000 a year. That's a comfortable middle-class income. Suddenly, living comfortably without working seems much more realistic. Social Security acts as a powerful booster to your retirement income. It's a safety net that makes the $500,000 strategy much more robust. It provides a baseline of income that is adjusted for inflation each year. Every year, Social Security benefits get a cost of living adjustment. In 2025, that adjustment was 2.5%. This means your Social Security income grows automatically to keep pace with inflation. This is a crucial piece of the puzzle that many people forget. So the numbers can work, but it requires a plan. It requires discipline, and it requires a shift in mindset. The foundation of this strategy is a low-cost lifestyle. Many people can live well on less than they think. It's about being intentional with your spending. Do you really need that expensive car payment? The average new car payment in America is over $700 a month. That's $8,400 a year. If you drive a paid-off car instead, you save that entire amount. Do you need that daily latte? At $5 a day, that's $1,825 a year. Do you need to upgrade your phone every year? If you keep your phone for 3 years instead of 1, you save money. These small expenses add up over time. By cutting back on the non-essentials, you can dramatically reduce your cost of living. This makes your $500,000 nest egg go much further. It's not about deprivation, it's about optimization. Maybe you cancel the cable TV subscription you barely watch. Maybe you cook at home more often. Maybe you travel during the off-season when prices are lower. Maybe you downsize to a smaller home. These choices free up money to spend on the things that truly matter to you. Living in a lower cost of living area can also be a game changer. Your money simply stretches further. If you live in an expensive city, $50,000 a year might feel tight. But if you live in a lower cost area, that same $50,000 can provide a very comfortable lifestyle. Housing costs are lower. Property taxes are lower. Food costs are lower. This is called geographic arbitrage. You take your income and move to a place where it goes further. Financial independence is not a number. It's a state of mind. It's the freedom to choose. The $500,000 plan is not for everyone. It requires a specific lifestyle and a disciplined approach, but it shows that financial freedom is achievable for many people. It's about being smart with your money. It's about avoiding stupid mistakes, and it's about valuing your time more than material possessions. Kevin O'Leary's idea forces us to ask a powerful question. What is enough? Do we really need millions to be happy? Or can we find freedom with less? The answer is different for everyone. What do you think? Could you live off $500,000? Let us know in the comments below. And if you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to Frankie Finance for more videos on how to build your financial freedom. Don't forget to share this video with someone who needs to hear this message. See you in the next video.